Hello and welcome to our Kids Better Results Faster. I'm Dr. Jason Stevens, one of 4 chiropractors at Live Well Chiropractic, and we appreciate that you've trusted your child's health with us. What we want to do today is really walk you through some steps you can do to have an active role in keeping your child healthy. We know health can be a really stressful thing, and choosing which options and what things to do for your child can be even more stressful because there's so many different choices, so many different options, and so many different voices out there. And what we want to do is walk you through what we've found in our years of experience as chiropractors, but also years of experience as parents of what you can do to really keep your kids healthy now, healthy as they grow and develop, and then as they turn into teenagers and adults, can be healthy teenagers, healthy adults, and not just continue to have these problems and grow into the same problems that they've had. First, let's talk about the missing health link that most healthcare professionals don't talk about when they're talking about the health of a child: the nervous system. The nervous system controls everything the body does, how the body functions and works and heals. It also controls things like digestion and immune system and sleep. And these things are all things that can become problems when our nervous system isn't working the way it's supposed to. It's also much easier to correct problems when kids are young and haven't had that buildup of stress and damage to their body than if we wait until they're teenagers or young adults or become adults and have these major health issues going on. So what type of health issues do we usually see come from the nervous system? You can see on the screen in the background how the nerves affect so much of the different body. If it's nerves in the upper part of the neck, it can be things like colic and crying. It can be ADD and focus and concentration, immune system issues, even headaches. It can be sleep issues or latching issues with tension in that upper neck. So they might not nurse and feed as well as they're supposed to. It can be things like colic. It can be things like digestive issues, whether it's bowel issues or constipation, or if they get sick a lot, things like croup, different things like that can be really caused by stress in that nervous system that affects how the nerves are controlling your child's health. Or if it's things in the upper mid back, it can be things like reflux and GERD. It can be asthma, bronchitis, breathing issues. All of these things can continue to really affect your child's health and really affect how your child continues to grow and develop. We also hear so much people tell us that their pediatrician says they're just going to grow out of it. I'm here to tell you that kids don't grow out of health problems. They grow into health problems. The problems we see with young kids don't just go away. They continue to brew and build and turn into bigger, badder health issues that they have to deal with, whether it's as a young adult or as a adult in their older years, 50s, 60s, that we see so much of the same types of things in those people who never dealt with health issues when they were young because they just thought it was going to go away and they would grow out of it. If you look at the screen again, here are some different areas that the mid back and lower part of the back control. If you look at the lower part of the mid back, it can be things like behavior issues, hyperactivity, bedwetting, allergies, skin conditions, even gas and bloating that can be affected. If you look at the low back, it can be things like constipation, it can be diarrhea, again, more bedwetting, bladder issues that are controlled in those kids. It can also be knee and ankle and hip and foot pain. So it can affect so many different things that your nervous system controls. It's not just aches and pains, but it's really how your child's whole body is functioning and healing, and why it might not be working the way it's supposed to if there's interference in that nervous system. Next, let's talk about how you would know if your child needed an adjustment or how you would know if their nervous system wasn't working the way it was supposed to. Most people would say symptoms or health problems would be the way to tell. If my child has a symptom, that's how I know if they're healthy or if their nervous system is working well. But I'm here to tell you, if you wait until your child has symptoms, usually it's too late in the process and that's been building, brewing for a longer period of time. And it takes that much more work to really get things corrected. And that's why in our office at Live Well Chiropractic, we use computerized nervous system scans to really measure your child's nervous system and see the health of their nervous system. You can see on the background, there's a picture with all white healthy nerves. that would show a normal, healthy nervous system. That means those nerves are functioning, controlling your child the way they should. Those messages from your child's brain to their body are getting through the way they're supposed to, so your child can function, move, and really heal the way his body's supposed to, and grow and develop the way they're supposed to. You can see the other scan with all the colors, the reds and the blues, and even a little bit of black. That is a unhealthy nervous system. That shows stress or subluxation on those nerves, and that means those messages can't get through. Each one of those colors represents a light switch. If you think of the light switch in your house, if you flip the switch off, that light that is controlled by that switch isn't going to work anymore, or whatever else is controlled by that switch isn't going to work because the electricity, the signal's not getting through. And it's the same with your child's nervous system. If there's subluxation, there's stress, if there's those colors showing up on your child's scans, those nerves aren't sending signal to your child's body, to whatever it may be. It might be their neck or back, but it could be their digestive system, their immune system, might just be how they grow and develop. It might be focus, it might be concentration. All those things are controlled by the nervous system. And if those nerves are switched off, so to speak, then their body isn't going to be able to control and work the way it's supposed to. So what our nervous system scans look at is they measure stress or damage on your child's nervous system so that we can see areas we need to focus on to not only get them feeling better, but to really make sure their bodies can function and work this way it's supposed to. But it also tells us how much damage has occurred to your child's nervous system, so we can see what we need to do to really correct those problems so that your child can grow and develop and meet those milestones like they would if they were healthy and functioning the way they're supposed to. Now that you know what we're looking for with our nervous system scans, the question is, what do you do if your child has subluxation or stress or damage on the nervous system? First thing you should do is get your child adjusted by a chiropractor. And that's why you're here. So we can adjust your child's nervous system to really start to clear these subluxations so your child's body can start to function and heal and work like it's supposed to again. Regular adjustments start to clear that stress and damage to really help your child be able to start that natural healing process that's in all of our bodies that allows their body to really function and work the way it's supposed to. But it's not just adjustments until they start to feel better, because we know life is stressful and stress is really what breaks down our nervous system. For kids, those stressors can be the falls of learning to walk, or the changes in posture as they grow and develop and start to hold their head up, or start to sit for the first time, or crawl for the first time. That's a crucial time for your child's health because they're starting to form curves in their nervous system and spine that are supposed to be there. And if there's interference there, the body's not going to form those curves correctly. It's going to start to throw off posture and really affect how your child continues to grow and develop. But we've all seen kids learning to walk and how many times they fall and land on their butt. Those types of things are stressors that accumulate and build up on your child and can really affect their nervous system. And then as they grow and develop, whether it's young age of playing sports, whether it's falls, if you have boys, it's them jumping off of everything and falling, and all the stress that they put us through puts their body through a lot also. So it's important that we not just get them adjusted until they start feeling better, but to keep them adjusted on a regular basis so that their nervous system can stay healthy and continue to function and work at a high level. So as they do continue to grow and develop, it does it the correct way and properly under correct posture, and there isn't those interferences, so the body can really be as healthy as possible going forward. Now that we've talked about the importance of an adjustment and what an adjustment does for your child's nervous system, let's talk about some things you can do to help your child grow and develop in a healthy way so that you're feeding them and fueling them the right way. The first thing I want to discuss is nutrition. I think we all know nutrition is important, not just for us, but for our child. And we see more and more how much junk food and food that is just loaded with chemicals and sugars is out there and really entices our child. So it's really important that we make proper decisions for our child so that we fuel their body, feed their body the right way so it can heal and repair the way it's supposed to. First thing I want to talk about is for young babies. If possible, and I know not everyone can, but if possible, it's best if you can just breastfeed your child for the first 6 to 8 months, strictly breastfed, no foods, no baby oatmeal, none of that stuff until your child's digestive system has a chance to really start to develop. If we start to put foods into our child's digestive system too early, it can start to cause a reaction in their digestive system that can lead to food allergies or food sensitivities down the road. So it's important, if you can, to hold off on foods at least for the first 6 months, ideally for up to 8 months or even a little longer, depending on the development of your child. The next thing I want to talk about is food in general. As they start to eat food, like us, the best types of food are whole, real foods, fruits, and vegetables to feed your child. Now, I know a lot of you are going to say, well, my child's really picky and won't eat those types of things. And I understand that some kids can be really picky with those things, but it's important you offer and try those types of things with your child, especially initially, because if they're exposed to those types of things early on, makes it easier down the road to incorporate those into their diet as well. There's a study that shows kids should try something up to 6 times before they can really make a decision on whether or not they like it or not. And that goes for adults too. So it's really important that you allow your child to try different foods, try different fruits, try different vegetables as they start to get into eating real foods. The less we can do packaged, boxed foods, it's going to be so much better. Because if you look at any of those types of things, even if they say organic, even if they say all natural, a lot of times there's chemicals and preservatives in those things to allow those things to be shelf stable in a box, in a package. And those things are not healthy for our child. Those are things that stress our child's body. Chemicals form chemical stress in the body that add up and start to affect how our child's nervous system and body can function. As kids get even older, even more important to really make sure your child are trying fruits and vegetables and not eating lots of junk food, lots of packaged foods, lots of sugar. Sugar is just terrible for a child's growth and development, really shuts down their immune system. Kids who are sick a lot, we see changing their diet just a little bit can really play a big role with their immune system. You can see at the bottom of the screen, we talked about the adjustments. You can see a picture of the instrument that we use. But here's a couple other things that I highly recommend when kids can start to chew and swallow supplements that are really beneficial. The first one is a great kids multivitamin. This is a chewable multivitamin. If you look at this vitamin code kids, it's full of fruits and vegetables. It's not synthetic, man-made. It's real foods in there that really feeds your child proper nutrition so they can grow and develop. Another thing I love for kids is the Ocean Kids DHA. This is kind of a kid's fish oil. It provides healthy fats for your child's brain. Fats are so important for your child's brain so that they can focus, form memories, really concentrate. DHA is really calming to a child's brain. So kids who are hyperactive and can't focus, can't concentrate, these Ocean Kids do really great at kind of calming their brain, calming their mind down so they can focus and concentrate. And then the furthest over on the screen is a liquid vitamin D that we use. Vitamin D is so important for immunity, and this is one I use with my kids right at the start of the school year and all through the school year to really boost their immune system so that it can fight off whatever bugs and viruses they're going to be exposed to. I take it myself, but I give a little lower dose to my kids. Just a couple of drops, 2 to 3 drops is enough to really give your kids that full dose of vitamin D when they're not outside getting sun exposure on their skin. It's really important for them to supplement with vitamin D. So there's some really great things you can do nutrition wise. And I think parents have that gut instinct that their kids shouldn't be eating a lot of the crap that they are. So if we can just make a few small changes, add in a few extra fruits and vegetables, just start to add in more water and less juices or less colored beverages, those types of things can be such a critical change for your child's health. I didn't talk about that earlier with nutrition, but water is such an important thing. We want to go to juice or to apple juice or orange juice or those types of things. And again, those are things that are really store-bought juices are loaded with sugars. When you look at the amount of sugar in juices, it's just crazy how much is in there. So just sticking to water can be really beneficial. Another question we get a lot around nutrition is what should I do about milk? Um, and again, I think the best option is a good whole raw milk, not pasteurized, not homogenized, but a good raw milk, because there's good things in that raw milk that when you put it through the pasteurization and homogenization process, that it destroys a lot of those good things that are in there. So if you can find a good whole raw milk with some of the local farms, that's probably the best option to go to if you're looking at. But you don't have to do milk once you stop breastfeeding or nursing or even formula with your child. You don't have to do milk. You can do just regular water and supplement with food. Or if you want to do milk, you can look at different sources, whether it's a good whole raw cow's milk or goat's milk, or looking at other things like a better form of almond milk or something like that if they don't have a nut allergy, to really steer away from some of the more commercialized pasteurized dairy milks that are out there too. The next topic I want to talk about is a hot topic for child's health, and that is vaccines. I will be the first to tell you that even though most people think that vaccines are mandatory, they are not and have never been mandatory in the state of Pennsylvania. They're highly recommended, but they are not mandatory. I know people say you can't get into public schools without vaccines, and that is just blatantly false. None of my three kids have been vaccinated, and all have attended public school, and we've been given no problems from the school district because they're not vaccinated. Um, People have all kinds of reasons for why they wouldn't vaccinate, and people have reasons for why they would vaccinate. I'm not telling you one way or the other. What I am telling you is to research it, look into it, ask questions before you just blatantly do it because somebody tells you it's mandatory, you have to do it. Um, we've done it because we think it's best for our children's health not to vaccinate, not to be injected with all those things that they are now injected with. If you just look at from when I was a child to now where my kids are, we've gone from 8 vaccine doses when I was a child, would have got vaccinated, to now over 40 doses of vaccines for children that are my children's age. And that number only continues to go up as we see new vaccines come onto the market recently with COVID and with RSV vaccines. That number of shots is going to continue to go up as they develop more and more vaccines. I don't think it makes your child healthier by having vaccines, and there's studies to prove just that. I have a study in front of me that shows that today children will receive 49 doses of 14 vaccines by the age of 6, 12 times higher than they were in 1980. Our children are among the most highly vaccinated in the world, and they're also among the most chronically ill. From the Center of Disease Control, they admit that 1 in 6 children in America are developmentally delayed. And during the past quarter century, the number of children with learning disabilities, ADD, asthma, diabetes has more than tripled than what it was in 1980. And there's got to be a reason behind that. And I think a big part of that is what's being injected into our children through these vaccines. So I think it's an important subject to start to think about. Are you doing the right thing, or are you just doing it because that's what you've been told you have to do? And I think it's an important subject to research and look into so that you're doing the right thing to keep your child healthy and also protect your child long term. Another hot topic we hear about as parents is germs. We all want to talk about germs. Oh, I don't want my kid to be exposed to this germ or that germ because they're going to get sick. I don't want them to go to preschool because they're going to be exposed to germs and get sick. And we all see how much antibacterial stuff is out there, whether it's hand sanitizers or whether it's different things in all of our soaps. There's all these antibacterial hand soaps and sprays and everything you can spray on surfaces to kill bacteria. Are these things a good thing? The simple answer is no. Kids need to be exposed to germs to really build and strengthen their immune system. Exposure to germs for kids is like exercise going to the gym for your body. When you go to the gym and exercise your body gets stronger so it can lift more and exercise more. And the same thing happens with our nervous system and our immune system. When our kids are exposed to germs when they're young, their immune system builds that memory so it can fight that off so that when it's exposed to that same germ down the road, it knows what to do and it can stop that germ in its tracks before it ever starts to cause a reaction in our body. And the great thing, if you are breastfeeding your child, is that your child is getting your immune system. It's being exposed to your antibodies, your immune cells that you've built up over the years. So if you're breastfeeding, you're giving your child a great start in their health and their immune system so it can start to fight things off. But then not being afraid of germs, allowing them to be exposed to dirt and to germs is going to be an important thing so that their immune system can get strong and start to build through the years as well too. It's really important that they're exposed to those types of things, because if not, when they are exposed to them later, when they start school or as they grow and get older, they're going to get sick more. They're going to end up with chronic colds or breathing issues or sinus issues because their body's not able to handle those exposures like they would be if they were exposed to them at a younger age. The last thing I want to talk to you about is germs. Do germs cause fever? The answer is no, germs don't cause fever. Fever is your child's reaction to that germ. It's your child's immune response to that germ, or your own body's response to that germ. So why would your body or your child's body create a fever? Because heat kills those viruses or heat kills those bacteria to really protect your child from that virus and bacteria. What do we do a lot of times when our kid has a fever? We give them fever-reducing medication to bring that fever down. Lots of studies show fever-reducing medication actually makes us or our child sicker 3 to 5 days longer than if they didn't take that fever-reducing medication. There's so many much better things you can do for your child's immune system to boost their immune system and not just shut down the fever, but to really make their immune system stronger, whether it's adjustments, keeping up with fluids. There's supplements that they can take. We talked about vitamin D earlier. There's also other supplements that we recommend for kids here in the office that can really help boost their immune system. So if you have questions about those, make sure you talk to us in the office so that we can guide that for you to really help boost your child's immune system if they are having those types of issues. Because it's really important not to just suppress a symptom, but to really make sure their body's healthy and working the way it's supposed to so your child can have optimal health. So I know it can be overwhelming when you start to look at the health of your child and what you really need to do to get them healthy and well. But I don't want you to be overwhelmed from this video. What I want this to be is a starting point for you, somewhere where you can see there are simple things I can do to really make a huge impact in my child's health. And you've already started that journey by coming in, getting them adjusted, starting to get their nervous system healthy so that their nervous system can really function and work the way it's supposed to allow their body the best chance to be as healthy as possible. The next step in that journey is choosing one action step, whether it's nutrition or whether it's looking at toxins or things they're eating or drinking, or whether it's looking at vaccines like we talked about earlier, or germs. Are you being too much of a germaphobe, not exposing them to enough germs so their body and immune system can really fight those things off? But it's really just choosing one thing, not being overwhelmed with, I'm not doing all of these things. Choosing one thing and really starting to make a even bigger impact in your child's health that way. And we're also here for you. If you have questions, if you say, I don't know what to do next, I don't even know where to go, we're here to help walk you through that process and guide you so that you can start to take those steps to really not only just get them adjusted, but really start to improve your child's health in other ways so that they will grow into healthy children, healthy teenagers, and have the best start at being a healthy adult. So if there's one thing I know, it's that certainly starting this process can be tough, but it's important that you do just that. Start the process, start with one thing and really work from there. The other thing that's really important is I know that most moms, most dads are under a lot of stress. So if you're not already under care, really important for you to look at what should you be doing for your health. In our office, we offer free family checkups. So anybody in your child's immediate family is eligible for a free family checkup. We'll do the first visit, the scans, consultation with the doctor, completely free. So we can see, are there things that we could change with your health to really get things going in a better direction so that you can be the best mom, the best dad that your other siblings or other children could get the best start with their health so that they can achieve that same level of health we were talking about with your child. So if you want to do that, make sure you take advantage of that. Talk to us at the office or call the girls at the front desk and schedule that free family checkup. If it's anyone outside your immediate family, if it's a friend or a neighbor, and you're saying, boy, they could really benefit or their child could really benefit from this, normally all those tests and scans are $155. We offer them a big discount and we'll offer them for $55. All you have to do is let us know, hey, I have a friend I'd like to refer in, give us their name, and we'll make sure they get that discount off that first visit as well. So it's really important you take those action steps and run with them. Appreciate all the time you've put into this. And if you do have questions, certainly reach out to us so we can help you through that process. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the office.